It's been a great week for Cumberland coach Randy Vernon. He's just been inducted to the NAIA Hall of Fame this week. What a run he has had here at Cumberland. 18 seasons, you see the record. Roger Kaiser in the middle of that huddle somewhere. Roger Kaiser again in the final game with life. We will have the starting lineups coming at you from Tulsa, Oklahoma right after this.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
11-year-old Krista Hamilton on the national anthem tonight here in Tulsa. And let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Passport Travel Inc., the official travel agent to the NAIA. And Cumberland's starting lineup looks like this: McDaniel, Garth, Silman, Petrowski, and Gover. Gover, the leading scorer, hasn't had a great tournament thus far. Life College looking like this. James Harris leads the way. He's averaged 17 a game during the tournament. Anthony Maxwell, Curtis Carrington, their leading scorer on the season, coming in here, only 6 a game in the tournament, however. Demetrius Palmer, and then Don Smiley. They're so quick around the perimeter, Life College is. They'll be on the defensive end and picking and doing everything they can, causing those 30 turnovers a game as they have done all season long, Jeff.
Well, and talking to some of the folks at Cumberland before the game, they said really one of the key for them is going to be that they're going to have to stay very steady and try not to turn the basketball over. They've been doing a pretty good job of that at the tournament, but they have yet to play Life, which has really been the quickest team as a whole out here. So I think we're going to have a real interesting matchup between the quick, fast-paced, up and down the court action of Life and a more regimented offense from Cumberland.
Well, not just that, but Cumberland's so excellent on the defensive end of the floor. We talked about this just a little bit ago. They were the best team as far as defense goes in the NAIA this season, and here in the tournament, no different. 56 points they have averaged in the tournament, holding the other team.
Well, and that's going to be a key because Life, really in their last game, did not shoot the ball as well as they did the first couple of games. And for Cumberland, that's going to be a key. And also another key to look for is going to be rebounding because Life likes to get up and move the ball up the court quickly, and that's going to take the fact that they get some long rebounds off some jump shots by Cumberland. Cumberland's going to need to box off and make sure that everybody gets a man when the shot goes up so that they can try to keep the running Eagles from doing a lot of that running.
Cumberland College in here. They have never reached this point in the national tournament. This is their first trip to the semifinals after all the great teams that Randy Vernon has had over the years. Randy Vernon, in his 18 seasons, has won 20 games 17 times. In the one year he didn't do it, by the way, he had 19.
Well, and I tell you what, when you look at this game on paper, Life really looks to be a big hit up in this one. 99 points a game, almost 100 points a game they average. Cumberland just over 74 in the rebounding area. Life with almost 39 rebounds, 35 for Cumberland. But you know what? They're not playing it on paper, Neil. They're playing on the court. It's the semifinals of the national championship, and this will be a good ball game.
Your officials tonight, Rick Batsell, Rusty Hicks, and Antonio Petty, as we're ready to get it underway in Game 1 tonight of the NAIA National Championship semifinals at the Division I level. And it'll be James Harris in the center circle for Life going up against Michael Silman. Silman 6'7", Harris 6'4". And Cumberland controls it right out of the gate. Doug Garth quickly, and he dumps it off to their point man, Tony Petrowski.
Man-to-man defense by Life, that's what they've gone the whole way with, and that's how they use a lot of pressure. They're going to trap you on the side, so when you think you have one man beat, look out. There'll be another one coming right behind it.
Shot clock now at 15 as Cumberland showing you they'll be deliberate from the start here. Try to slow the Life running Eagles down just a bit, and a foul out front on Harris as he was trying to stay with Petrowski, and Harris turned his ankle, I believe, as he tried to reach in on the dribble. You know, Jeff, the thing I've noticed is Harris a lot of times will go out and cover the point guard on the other team, even though he's the big guy on the floor right now.
And it's interesting to see how Life responds. They've got their best man right now in a little bit of early trouble. He has one foul. We just not even played 30 seconds.
Well, they keep running him in and out. Foul trouble has not bothered them yet in the tournament. Got a fresh 35, and now hanging and missing the shot is Gover, but running down the rebound is Brad Gover. And that was a rare shot attempt, Jeff, by Brad Gover inside the arc. He takes at least 2/3 of his shot from outside the arc, and here in the tournament, he's done that as well.
Well, coming into the tournament, he had put up just too short of 300 from three-point range, and in reality, Cumberland College, the second team as far as the whole tournament goes in number of three-point attempts, so they're going to shoot a lot from outside that 19-9 arc.
And Brad Gover, one of the top three-point shooters in the country, 47% from outside the arc. And Cumberland in the possession at the beginning of the game that just won't end. It went out of bounds with 19 seconds left on the clock. They still have it. We've played over a minute already here. Out high, this is McDaniel. Now from outside, the three-pointer goes for Petrowski. So a great start for Cumberland. The other way, and that one's rejected down low as Carrington took it to the glass.
Well, that's exactly what you have to do. Let's look. The key right here is the fact that Cumberland gets back in a hurry. So Carrington has a chance to go up, and look, there's three guys right there waiting on him when he goes up for the shot. That's going to be the key. How quick can Cumberland get back on defense?
Silman with the rejection, and Carrington with a three-pointer.
Well, there's your answer right there. Swat me out, and we'll put it right back up from three-point range.
Curtis has somewhat struggled here in the tournament after being the leading scorer for Life College the entire season, and he gets a great start to this game with a three-pointer from outside. And Cumberland now with the basketball. Shot clock inside at 20. Out high, this is Brad Gover missing the shot, blocking off, and Silman getting the rebound. Gover once again, and he misses again. Smiley the rebound at 5'9", and now Life College moving with it.
Cumberland also is in the man-to-man, and they will go that way the entire way. And talking to a lot of folks, they've played zone about 5 minutes the entire season.
Here's Harris on the turnaround. And a nice seal out there by Michael Silman. He's probably the strongest player on this team, and he shows you some of that strength right there.
And at 6'7", he's really going to be called on not only on the defensive glass to try to pull those rebounds down, but he also already in the game has had a couple of tip-outs to create some offensive rebounds for his team.
From outside, shot misses by Petrowski. Out of bounds, and Life College will have it.
Well, so far, I think Cumberland's done what they've wanted to do. They've been able to be patient, set the offense up, but they've also been able to get back on defense. And sometimes it takes Life a couple of minutes to kind of get the motor revved up to the good running temperature. So I think right now they're very patient. They got a tie, and they're in pretty good shape.
On the wing, Harris. Batted away there by Petrowski. And then they finally get it low to Demetrius Palmer on the fall away, and the rebound taken in by Cumberland. High for the rebound, McDaniel. And Palmer just falling over the top of Petrowski, commits the foul, and that's the second team foul on Life. First foul, personal foul, on Demetrius Palmer.
Palmer just overplaying right now, and a great job of just holding the basketball and letting Palmer fall right on top of you. There's nothing Palmer can do there. He's already committed. He's going to get the foul. It's just a matter of when are they going to blow the whistle.
And folks, if you haven't watched Life College play yet on the NAIA network in this tournament, they will just flat out get after you all over the floor. The hands are always active along with the feet, just like that. A near steal there. Shot clock now at 15. Here's McDaniel. Crosses it to Gover. Missing the shot. Smiley the rebound, and the track meet is on. Smiley to Carrington, and Denner is served.
No look pass right there. Smiley looks off to the right. Carrington coming up the left, filling the lane nicely. He has 5.
And I think Gover must have taken a shot to the chest area. And he called for the official's timeout. He goes to sit down.
Look at this no-look, looking straight to the right over at Harris, and Smiley has a nice little smile on his face, I'm sure, after that pass. Where's the ball? It's a magic act.
And Gover taking in some fluids on the far sideline, leading scorer for Cumberland on the season. And they certainly hope he's okay. Out high, McDaniel. Now to Benoit. And back out high to set the offense with Petrowski and underneath 10 on the shot clock. On the take, Garth gets it up there, and it's an offensive foul on Doug Garth out of Lexington, Kentucky.
Very athletic move by Garth, going and filling the lane, but just got away from him.
We've played just over 4 minutes here from Tulsa, and Roger Kaiser's team has the lead by 2. We'll be back right after this.
All right, we talk about the importance of getting back quick on D with a long rebound. Here's a great example of not getting back quickly. Life outrun, and then here, look here. Here's the Life players right here, and back here behind everybody is where the Cumberland players are, and it's an easy layup. The no-look, left side layup is good.
Back live, Life with the basketball, out of bounds, and Cumberland will have it. That's the first turnover on Life in the ball game. Remember, Roger Kaiser's team averages getting about 30 turnovers from the other team, and there's one right there. Smiley trying to tip it up, Cumberland the rebound, and then Life steals it right back.
I was going to say, Smiley really wanted to put it up quick, but almost didn't use the turnover wisely as he put it up in traffic.
Smiley dumps it down to Harris. James Harris had 24 yesterday in their win over Birmingham Southern as he hit the 2 free throws toward the end of the game to put it away. Nearly a backcourt violation there on Cumberland. There's your shooting percentages. Cumberland has taken most of those from behind the three-point line.
Right now, Life starting to turn up that pressure on the defensive area.
On the block, shot up and good for Silman. Michael Silman his first 2.
Silman averaging 4.5, but he's really going to be the key, I think, for Cumberland. He's going to have a big game, being strong inside.
Harris on the wing, 7-5, Life on top by a deuce. Maxwell to Smiley, work the perimeter to Carrington. Rebound Harris and right back at him.
Well, Harris was in great position that time as really Life worked the ball around the perimeter extremely well and got the great inlet.
Full court pressure, Palmer the pick, but he's called for the foul.
And that'll be 2. That'll be 2 on Palmer. And I tell you, that's just going to be the trick right now. Really, what's happening is Palmer's kind of letting the guy get close to midcourt. Then they're setting that trap up. And it's causing Cumberland, this trap so far is causing them a little bit of problems bringing the ball up the court.
Well, Life just baits you, and they're always working for that steal. Try to lull you to street.
There's the double team.
There they go. And it's a foul on Cumberland on the push, the foul going against Petrowski.
Well, and that's another way that Life gets you is they get you frustrated because you kind of, sometimes you're going to feel as a player, a lot of those slaps may catch you on the fingers or the hands, and then you just got to get and react. A lot of times after you've had your pocket pick, you kind of overreact and you may commit a foul, as we just saw.
Randy Vernon looking on at his team. Right now they trail it by 4, 9-5. 14 left in the first half. A couple of guys in the ball game for Life. One of them, Patrick Lewis. There's the shot from Smiley. I guess Lewis was the only one that entered for Life College. He's number 11, and boy, does he have a game. All kinds of quickness and all kinds of ups. And right now, Life with the basketball underneath. Lewis will trigger right there.
Garth picks up his second personal foul, that time away from the ball. A lot of action going in. Garth, as you kind of get a look right there, is playing James Harris. And Harris at 6'4" is so active, as we're going to get a substitution for Garth, that he's going to give almost anybody that guards him a lot of problem. And that's going to be a key matchup for Cumberland.
Ryan Merriweather checked in, 33 for Cumberland. Life with the inbound and a fresh 35. Underneath 14 to play now. Life on top, 9-5. They average almost 100 a game on the season. In the tournament, not quite that much, though. Here's Anthony Maxwell. Ball knocked away, and Cumberland, an outstanding defensive team, causes the second turnover of the game on Life. Out high, Petrowski. Lewis all over him. And there's Maxwell in there with the hands working. His life has turned up the pressure once again.
Tell you what, I'd love to have like a heart monitor on some of these guards for Cumberland as they've got guys all over them. The rapid pace.
Shot clock now at 5. From outside, McDaniel misses the shot, rebound to Carrington.
Perfect chance, though. They really worked the ball well. They actually got a good open look at the bucket. It just wouldn't fall.
And an offensive foul on Lewis. First personal on Patrick Lewis. I don't know if you've watched him in the dressing room and they're walking out wearing a Burger King hat.
Well, and at the
you get that with a Whopper? No, I got him with a kid's meal.
At the Final Four banquet this afternoon,
up with that?
he was wearing his Burger King hat at the Final Four banquet today.
What is up with that? And this one goes out of bounds. And another turnover, Life will have it. Well, he played for the University of Tulane. And oh, by the way, dealt out 22 one night on North Carolina. He probably didn't have the Burger King hat on at that point. Here's the turnover scenario. Cumberland on top 4-3.
He also has a rubber band around his left ankle.
Anthony Maxwell was shaping up, but out high, it's James Harris. That's a 2, and Harris with a half dozen to lead all scorers.
James is really making a name for himself here in the tournament thus far, has really played exceptional. And Cumberland having some trouble getting the ball over the timeline.
10-second call in danger here. They get it up. Oh, no, they didn't. It's a traveling call, another turnover, and that's 5 turnovers on Randy Vernon's team right now, and he's facing the same pressure that everyone else has in this tournament that causes 30 turnovers a game.
Well, let's take a look at it. What you're going to see the travel is, watch him, he's going to throw the ball, and nobody else touches it. He's basically going to make a pass to himself. Whoops, there it is. You can't do that.
Carrington off the screen, and a foul on Michael Silman trying to fight through it. The senior out of Talladega, Alabama. That's his first personal. And we talked about him being the strongest player. He goes about 230 on the 6'7" frame. And when he runs over you, you're going to feel it.
Life really working the offense, but right now they're having to move a lot without the basketball because Cumberland's doing a good job of that man-to-man pressure defense. Cumberland's biggest problem thus far is getting the ball across midcourt.
Burger King with the basketball out high. 12 to play first half. 11-5 is your score. Life on top. On the move, the quick move by Harris. And he's fouled as he takes it to the rack. It's going to be on Cumberland. And I believe they have whistled the first personal foul on Gleaton.
And man, you talk about appreciation of a player. When he went to the rack, 3 guys were on him.
Life on top in this low-scoring affair. They lead it by a half dozen here in Tulsa.
It is the James Harris show thus far. The long jumper, and Harris with the quick putback in the board, and he has just been all over the place. And if it's not just inside, look at the long jumper from 19 feet just to toe on the arc. He has 6 points in the game.
Carrington out high, now to Smiley. And Cumberland really keeping this game so far at the pace they wanted at. Score is only 11-5, and we played over 8 minutes. From outside, Carrington gets the roll. That's a 3, and Curtis Carrington has come to play tonight. He's got 8 points, 2 3-pointers.
Well, early on in the last couple of games, as we get a look at, there's the pressure again, but passing the ball up the court, Cumberland's able to get it.
Cumberland, a bit of a scoring drought here, and they turn it over once again.
Offensive foul here. It's an offensive foul. I believe they're going to call that one on Gleaton, and that's going to be his 2nd in a row. But talking about Carrington, in the last couple of games, he's really started slow. You mentioned averaging 16 a game as Garth comes back into the ball game for the Indians. But Carrington has really started shooting the ball well from the outside, and I think that could spur him on in this one.
There's Patrick Lewis. Anthony Maxwell for 3. And Anthony Maxwell with a big 3 outside. Early in the week, Maxwell had the 14 points early in game 1 in the first half to get his team going. And right now, there's your 3-point story. And Cumberland is a great 3-point shooting team. On the move, Harris with authority.
And we have an injured player out on the floor for Cumberland. What a play by Harris, but a better pass again, and that's been what sparked so far Life in the tournament has been great pinpoint passing.
And I believe that's Eric Bailey over there that's lying down on the ground. I don't know what happened to him. Let's see if we can take a look here.
He got clobbered, but look at that great pass inside to Harris, and I believe Bailey may have collided with his own player. But a big step, and Harris has 8 points now. Perfect timing, too. Just perfect lead pass. Little swing on the rope, but there you get to see back in the back left the collision. But 8 points, 4 for 5 shooting. I would say James Harris is on fire.
Nice job by our NAIA Productions crew. Go back, get some more looks on that one, guys. Points off turnovers so far. That's nothing new for Life. And here's another steal. 8 steals, or I should say 8 turnovers in the game against Cumberland. And Life caused many of those with their stealing hands, their quick defense. And out high, it's Patrick Lewis with 10.5 to play first half. Carrington to Lewis. 15 seconds to go. On the shot clock, Harris looking, Anthony Maxwell on the turnaround. He's spinning and grinning on that one.
Maxwell with great position inside the paint. Just kind of camped out on the right side, worked his way, and had the little turnaround from about 7.
And Life on top by 16 with 10 to play in the first half. On the wing, Benoit from outside. He's been great from three-point land in the tournament, not this time.
Had the open look, though, and that's exactly what Cumberland wants. All they need to do is get it across and get that look.
Patrick, oh, man. He just floated that one up over the top. Lewis with the hoop. And Burger King supersized that one for you right there. 9:50 to play the first half. This is a 20-second timeout. We've got to see that one again.
There is like flubber in this basketball. Watch it just float in the air, let go. Trying to reach it is Omari Gleaton, and he just kind of thinks I've got it, but it never hits his fingers. Watch this, right at you. Floater. How sweet is that one?
And Patrick Lewis with his first hoop tonight. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists during the tournament for Lewis, and numerous steals. And Life College on top, largest lead of the ball game, 23-5. 9:50 to play first half. Nearly another steal, but they get it out of there. Here comes Petrowski on the move. Shaping up Benoit for 3. Missing the shot off the front of the rim. And Anthony Maxwell pulls it in.
Well, and then another part of it, Cumberland have to work so hard on defense, it could be affecting their shooting.
Patrick Lewis missing. 8 of the last 10 for Life from the field. They work the perimeter. Petrowski out there. Now it's Garth. Dumping it down low. Sessions back to Garth from outside. Misses the shot. And the rebound run down by Gleaton. Now to Benoit. He's 0 for 2 from three-point range, but he's had a great tournament, Benoit has. Off the dribble, this shot goes. Petrowski knocks it in. He's got 5 now.
Well, and it's all been about the fact that Cumberland's just not had any luck getting the ball to drop because they have been getting the good open looks. They need to cut down the turnovers and start connecting on a few of these jumpers, and they can work their way back in.
That's their first field goal, Cumberland's first, in almost 6 minutes. Lewis to Smiley for 3. Barely catches the unit. Rebound run down there by Kenny Sessions. On the move, Cumberland. Shot from outside, Benoit won't go. Rebound by Gleaton. And just can't get the roll.
And a mistimed jump by Kenny Sessions. The ball hung on the rim as he went up for the board, and when he came down, the ball was still in the air, rebounded to Life.
Lewis, and there's a little hand flick from Cumberland, and it's turned over to Cumberland as Life commits the turnover. Reaching in there quickly, Omari Gleaton.
The pressure, though, starting to really mount right now, and I think a lot of the fact that Cumberland's having to work so hard on defense is definitely going to affect their offense because you get tired, you start having to work a lot harder, so you start short-arming the jump shots, and you're not able to use the leg. Look at the shooting. 1 of 9 in three-point range, 2 of 5 inside the arc. That's not surprising that they shoot more outside the arc. What is surprising at this point is the percentages.
Lewis, another steal. Anthony Maxwell. Yeah, Cumberland's a great shooting ball club from outside. The pressure, however, right now bothering them. Cumberland. Anthony Maxwell in the turnaround. And the ball went out of bounds. And Cumberland Indians will have it. Now they're still talking it over underneath the hoop. And they're going to say that it's life basketball. And I believe we have timeout on the floor. 7:36 to play, first half. Life College on top, 23-7. They've done it with the quick hands, just like all season. Well, Jeff, the Life College bench looks real keyed up over there, don't they?
Yeah, being the #1 seed gives you all kinds of pressure.
I need to send somebody a bag of chips over there, and they look like they're at home in the living room. Out high, this is Patrick Lewis, 23-7, Life on top. We've got,
shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation. They weren't aware of what happened there. It went out of bounds, and Roger Kaiser telling his team to think just a little bit. Randy Vernon trying to get his club going on. What a great week for Randy Vernon, inducted into the NAIA Hall of Fame on Monday.
Look at the pressure now. They're double teaming. You get the pass off, you're going to come toward midcourt, and then there's still the double team. So you got to look at where everybody is on the court. Shot from the free throw stripe, just wouldn't drop.
And we've seen a lot of guards walking around the tournament that have played this Life group with some nervous twitches.
They're seeing shadows come from behind.
On the lob, they wanted Lewis upstairs, but it was knocked away by Cumberland. And now the Indians on the move. That's the 6th turnover on Life. On the spin, Petrowski from outside Gover. And he can't get it to fall. Tipped up and in by Cumberland. I think it's
Gleaton, I believe.
I think it's Gleaton that got it in there.
That's his first bucket. And again, a wide open three-point shot. Just wouldn't fall, but they were fortunate to get the 2. Look at the field goals, though. 34.5 yesterday for Life, 56 tonight.
Maxwell sheds the defense, misses the shot, and Omari Gleaton high for the rebound. They say he's probably the best athlete on this team, and he showed us that in the last couple of moments. Life on top, 23-9. Here's Cumberland, shot from the outside by Petrowski, and that's a 2. He's got 7.
Well, what really Cumberland needs to do right now is just kind of get back in the rhythm, hit some shots, get them to fall for them, and maybe that'll give them some confidence to go back out and take those threes, because they've just had such a horrible night shooting that I think everybody's been a little gun shy, except Petrowski, as he's been firing away.
22nd timeout called for by Roger Kaiser and Life. Right now, it's 23-11 Cumberland. They have run off 6 straight points, the Indians of Cumberland have. And right now, they're huddled up with their coach. First trip ever to the semifinals. So the folks in Williamsburg, Kentucky, all fired up about Cumberland. The Indians, 31-6 on the season.
But look at Tony Petrowski, just not even hesitating, coming straight down. He's still feeling it. Averages 9 a game. He's already has 7. As you see, a long-range bomb right there. And he has been really the saving grace, because he's got 7, Gleaton has 2, and Silman has 2, and that's the scoring.
And he's 3 of 4 in this ball game. He only took 4 shots in the entire game yesterday in the win over Central Washington. On the baseline, shot misses, and Gaynor took it right off somebody's head.
Gaynor very deceptive. You look at him. We've talked about this the whole tournament. At 6'4", can leap with the best of them, and that time he went high. And watch this rebound. It's going to come long to the top side of your screen, and no foul. Just a great jump and a steal, if you will, of the rebound.
So many players for this Life team have great hands. This guy with an outstanding pair of mitts. We have seen him just scoop the ball on numerous occasions with one hand. And this is the first free throw of the game, coming at the 5:40 mark.
I think both teams really have been playing a very clean game. The officials letting it be a little aggressive on the defensive side, which really helps Life from one standpoint. But the game's progressed right along. as both teams like to move up and down the court.
Gaynor missing the second. High for the rebound, Omari Gleaton. 24-11, Life on top. Cumberland on the move. In the backcourt handling, Eric Bailey. And I don't know what was wrong with Brad Gover when he checked out before, holding his chest a little bit, but he's back in there. And they hope to get his game going here. Backs up for the three. He had pressure in his face. Gaynor trying to keep it alive on the deck, and Cumberland with the hustle gets the loose ball. Smiley the steal.
And Smiley wasn't even looking. He was looking the other direction, just stuck his arm up to make a face guard and got the connection.
Gover, nice job to get out of jail there. He's surrounded by three running Eagles. And now it's on the deck, and great hustle by the Indians, getting two loose balls. And Coach Kaiser not too happy about it for his Life running Eagles. And a block on the floor against Life.
And interesting that time because Garth had an opportunity to shoot the three from the outside, but he drove the lane. That'll be the first foul on Michael Maxwell. But that was a wild exhibition.
Normally the loose balls, Jeff, go into Life's hands, but this time the Indians really hustled.
There's a little pirouette, a little ballet action out there, and how he kept from traveling with it is an amazing job. And Cumberland was able to get out of jail, was exactly right.
And at the free throw line, it is Doug Garth who hits the first on the season, 57%. And missing the second. This one knocked out of bounds, and Life will get it.
Well, it's a 12-point Life advantage. But so often, as we've said, we've seen big leads in this tournament disappear in a hurry because it is the national championship tournament. Everybody playing with all they have. So I still look for Cumberland to kind of come back in this ballgame if they can get some of their jump shots to fall.
Life College with the longest winning streaks in the NAIA right now, 26 in a row, and a charging foul on Gaynor. Who stood in there tough? Was it Bailey? I think Eric Bailey took the charge. Yes, he did. That's the first personal on Gaynor. And the sixth team foul on Life College. And into the ball game, Carrington. He replaces Maxwell.
Total aggression. Look at Gaynor going to the hole, and a nice job of just standing down and holding your ground. But now Life gets set. They want a trap, but a good job of passing up the court.
Gover on the baseline, misses. And the rebound taken out of there by Life. Jeff Wright in there now on the move. 1 for 12 from three-point land. And there's the shot going in for Life College.
Wright with the bucket. He has two. 26-12. The lead is 14.
Cumberland 1 for 12 from three-point range. Wright with the last hoop. Life College his first two tonight. Cumberland now with the basketball.
Life manning up now, finding their guys as they trap so heavily on the trip up the court. They have to regroup and get their man when they set the offense.
Shot clock now at 6. Bailey trying to work it off, and they throw it away. They work the shot clock all the way down to about 4 or 5 and then threw it away. And Coach Vernon shaking his head over there right now. We have a local break on the NAIA network. Life on top, 26-12.
And look where you have to start the offense if you are Cumberland. Everybody's at half court, putting all kinds of pressure. There's a triple team at some point, and then you have to make the great pass just to get an open look.
The killer piranhas of Life College on that basketball like it's raw meat from outside. Carrington missing. And so far in the game, Life in the steal category. Lewis has 3 steals. Cumberland has 2 steals in the game. Life has 5. And there's a steal by Smiley. On the move, Don Smiley. His first 2 tonight.
Everybody's starting to get in these scoring acts for Life.
And a foul against Life as they try to guard the inbound. And it's going to be on Don Smiley.
Well, Life gets so many of those steals, and Smiley just picked that one up because of the fact that they're able to come from behind. Watch, you think you've beaten your man, and when you make that spin move, they just run around behind you. Smiley with the pick and the layup, and off to the races.
Smiley averaging 3 steals a game on the season. Nearly had to lay that one in after the steal and the run to the rack. And the last foul on Smiley, his first, 7th team foul. And to the line, it was Petrosky, who's had a pretty good tournament from the line, but he missed here. Carrington on the wing for Life. Here's Gaynor, taking it to the rack with the hook shot missing, and the rebound taken down by Kenny Sessions. And now Cumberland, Kentucky on the move. Out of Williamsburg, Kentucky. The Indians right now trail it by 16, only 12 points in the first half. We only have 2.5 minutes left.
Well, it hasn't been because of the lack of looks, because even with all the pressure that Life has put on them, they've had the open jump shots.
They got another hand on that one. Taking it back, though, is McDaniel trying to keep it alive, and a foul on Life.
Well, you get the opportunities, at some point you need to put them down, and a good effort that time inside was Jason McDaniel, just staying with it because he's got guys all around him swinging at him and putting a lot of the body to him, but he was able to stay with it and get the board, and now he's going to get a chance to shoot the ball uncontested from the stripe.
Jason McDaniel to the free throw line. He worked very hard in the offseason to improve his strength. And that helped him out this season. He's a good fundamental all-around player for this Cumberland team. And into the ball game, Anthony Maxwell replacing Gaynor. That last foul was on Jeff Wright, his first.
Also, we talked about Tony Petrosky. McDaniel and Petrosky were teammates in high school, so they carried that on to college.
Shot missing, on the move, Wright with a rebound, 1 on 4, but he forgot the basketball. 2:14 to play, first half. 28-12, Life on top by 16. They have led by as many as 18 here in the first half. Smiley out high, working the offense for the Runnin' Eagles. Here's Wright off the dribble, hanging, spanked away on the nice play by Garth.
Cumberland's defense really starting to pick up the pace right now as they're spreading the Life offense out.
Down low, they get it to Sessions, and it's stolen away again.
The double team caused a lot of problems right there in the block.
Carrington off the glass, and Curtis Carrington has 10 points in the game now.
He is so strong, too, go with the quickness. He got it down low. There was 2 players around him, and he was able to force it through.
Carrington, a transfer from the University of Georgia. Also was the Georgia Junior College Player of the Year at Atlanta Metro. And again, on the turnover, Life will have the basketball. That's 13 turnovers here in the first half on Cumberland. And really, that's pretty good against this Life team. Well, and that 20, I guess it's actually about right on pace.
Yeah,
you know?
and as the pass intended for Kenny Sessions, and as he was walking back up the court, he was just shaking his head no and was pointing, I believe, at Jeff Wright that was standing right in front of him. He said, I had no place to go.
Here's Carrington on the wing with 10 points already. Runnin' Eagles on top by 18, equaling their largest lead of the game, and this one's flat out thrown out of bounds as Harris tried to get after it on the floor. That's the 8th turnover on Life.
Well, so see, the pressure really from Cumberland's causing Life a few problems as well.
Full court man-to-man press by Life College as per the norm.
Watch the double teaming, it goes by, and a good job. See, pass the ball up the court. That's what you have to do. You can't dribble against these guys, they'll kill you.
And Sessions missing the scoop shot on the other side. Anthony Maxwell on the baseline, that's right, back out high, Smiley missing the shot, and good seal off there by Doug Garth.
2-second differential in the shot clock. See if Cumberland takes a quick one or if they're going to just try to hold for the end, and it's the answer right there.
Missing the shot, 25 seconds left on the miss. Here's Smiley to Carrington, who lays it in. He's got a dozen.
Well, I never had a question whether or not Life would take the shot if they had or not. They love to come down and push the ball.
Carrington's 5 out of 8 in the game, and on shots like that, he got a good shot at a nice percentage. 5 seconds left, first half. 20-point lead for Life. Here's the rebound at the buzzer by Benoit. And we played 1 half here at the national tournament in the first game of the semifinals. And my goodness, Life College has held Cumberland out of Williamsburg, Kentucky to 12 points in the first half. Life leads at 32-12 at halftime. They're on an 8-0 run to close out the final 44-49. of the first half.
Well, and I tell you right now, you know that Cumberland has got to be frustrated, but one of the things they've got to do in a halftime is really just talk about, guys, you need to settle down and get your jump shots to fall. It's easier said than done, but really they've had the open look, so it hasn't been the fact that life has just put so much pressure on them that they haven't got the shots off. They've been shots that have been unobstructed as well. They just aren't falling, and right now that's a problem for Cumberland as they trail big by 20.
Well, and the key there, Jeff, might be that they're taking some of those open looks a little bit quicker than they might normally do it. Because of that quick pressure defense, you don't know where the next guy's coming from. Life leads at 32-12 at halftime, and we'll be back with some halftime activities right after this. Welcome back to the National Tournament, everyone. The 60th annual NAIA Division I National Championship Tournament. And right now at halftime, Life leads at 32-12. Here we are at halftime with you, Neil Harwell along with Jeff Bowen, and 12 points in the first half for Cumberland. They wanted to have a slow pace, keep it at a low score, which they normally like to do, but 12 points?
Well, it's all been about the fact they haven't been able to get the shot to fall. I mean, there's really nothing else you can say about the fact that they've been doing a good job of working the offense, but I think you made a very good point at the end of the half, the fact that I think they're shooting a little too soon because Life is swarming so much on defense on them that if they get an open shot, they take it because they feel like they don't have any pressure on them. So I think that may be the quickness is the problem. Here's an example. They take the open shot, then they're going to battle for the board. Now, what do you do when you're just fighting for it? Smiley with a block right there, wasn't even looking at the pass. And then somehow Cumberland's able to get the ball back. But this is just the biggest problem that you've seen in this entire game for Cumberland. And now here's another steal by Life. You just mishandle the ball a little bit, and no hesitation. Immediately, Patrick Lewis gets a perfect pass off to James Harris for the dunk right in your face. And that's the story, quickness. Here's another example. Smiley, you think you've got your man beat. You'll make your spin move, and then from nowhere, he catches you from behind. He's going to drive in and just shoot an easy little layup. So for Life, this has been their key. Their offense has, as much as anything, been points off turnovers and steals. They have just continued. There has been some mark, though. Tony Petrosky has 7 points in the ball game thanks to some shots like this. Steps inside the arc, shoots it from about 18 and a half, and he's able to get something to fall. If he doesn't have 7 points, it's a lot worse than this.
Yeah, Petrosky with a nice shooting there throughout the first half, most of it in the early going. They finished out the end of the first half, Cumberland did, on about a 4-minute or 5-minute run where they didn't score at all. And Coach Vernon in his huddle right now, they're 31-6 on the season. This is a great ball club, folks. They play in Kentucky against Georgetown in conference play and stuff like that. They play some very good teams this season. This may be a little bit different test than they faced this year, though.
I think that's the key, is the fact that it's the quickness right now, and it's bothering everybody. Chad Benoit coming in, shooting 70% from three-point range. In the ballgame so far, he's 0 for 4 from field goals. 3 of those have been beyond the arc. He does not have any points, and I think if Cumberland wants to get back in it, he's going to have to be able to get some shots to fall.
Curtis Carrington getting into the flow for Life, 12 points in the first half.
Well, and I think that's a big key for him because he's had struggled coming into this tournament. All 3 games up until this point, hasn't had a good job of scoring outside. He's able to come in and get some jump shots to fall. They haven't always been layups tonight, and I think that's been part of the spur that's gotten him off to a good start.
It all amounts to a 32-12 lead here at halftime. Life College on top. They're the #1 seed in this tournament. And we'll take a local break here on the NAIA Network. Back with some more comments here at halftime right after this. Welcome back to the National Tournament here in Tulsa, the Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University. Life leads it at halftime, 32-12. And hi again, everybody. Neil Harwell along with Jeff Bowen here at halftime as we talk about this ball game. We also have another one upcoming here in the later on contest. That ball game will be at 8 o'clock. We'll have it for you along these same networks. And let's take a look at how these teams got here. It's Oklahoma Baptist and Point Park in game number 2. And OBU won over McKendree, and it was Point Park in overtime beating Hawaii Pacific. Here's Point Park's history. They shocked everyone in the early game. The first game of the tournament, they busted from the gate and beat David Lipscomb University, the 7 seed, 111-100. And Damon Wade had the top game in the tournament, 37 points in that game. And he's also got another All-American he can toss it into.
Well, I think one of the keys about Point Park is very similar to life. They are quick as cats. When they work the ball in the paint, look at the movement right there. And a nice job of hanging and getting the bucket to fall. But I think they've surprised everybody else is the fact that they are so quick. You cannot take them for granted anymore.
The close game they had against Clapham, and that was Clapham out of South Carolina, 71-70, and then the one we talked about in overtime against Hawaii Pacific, 88-84. And OBU, on the other hand, here's their story. They win over Lindsey Wilson out of Kentucky, 74-68 in their first-round game. And then in the bloodbath we talked about before, the defense, the slow-down pace, guys killing each other on the floor, 41-38, as we had a low-scoring first half, much like we have here tonight in that ball game. And then last night, Oklahoma Baptist back to normal, the run and gun, the fast pace. They won at 82-73 to get here tonight.
Well, when you talk about Oklahoma Baptist, you have to talk about Eric Cardenas. And last night, 34 points. He got back into his form. He averages almost 19. And he had a career night not only in the field goal area, but he also had a career night in rebounding. And I think for him to have a good night tonight is going to be a key to how Oklahoma Baptist performs against Port Park.
I thought a real key to OBU last night was Cardenas, as you just talked about, 34 points, 16 rebounds. But he really set the tone early on by just establishing position inside. I mean, he was getting great looks at the basket.
Well, he's a big guy and he's tall, but you saw the beef that he has to go along with it. So he commands a lot of space, and if he can back up toward the basket, get in that paint, he really is going to cause a lot of problems for anybody, no matter how quick you are, because he's so close to the bucket.
And Point Park out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, what a story they are. That's a lot of P's there as well. But I tell you what, they have two All-Americans. Damon Wade, as quick a guy as you'll find, and Housel inside. They are outstanding, two All-Americans. And, you know, the Cinderella team here, they're not looking to go home tonight.
No, they're not. And talking to a lot of the folks, it's really interesting. They do not even have a gym that they play in. They practice at a local YMCA. So when they came here to the Mabee Center, they were very, very, I guess you might say, excited about getting in a big-time gym like this, and they have made the most of it.
Now, Coach Rager didn't walk out and measure the hoop or anything like they did.
He didn't measure the hoop, but he did say earlier this afternoon he had to feel somewhat like Gene Hackman in Hoosiers when he brought the team in. They saw the big arena. So I think that the guys have proven, though, that they can play basketball, and it is the same, YMCA or Mabee Center.
Well, it's been a great week here all week. The basketball's got flying 9 a.m. on Tuesday, but this tournament, the toughest one to win in the country.
It is. You have to win 5 games in basically the span of a week. And now it gets to be where the last couple of days you've had to win every single day, so you cannot have an off night and expect to be the NAIA national champion.
We're at halftime of game number 1 here at the Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University, and right now it's Life College leading it. They're the number 1 seed. They lead it 32-12 over Cumberland. And we'll be back with more at halftime right after this. There's your score at halftime. Life leads at 32-12 over Cumberland here at halftime. As the Life College running Eagles with the pressure defense, they've really had it turned up and done a great job picking apart this Cumberland team with 13 turnovers they've caused. And Cumberland, as we said, been taking those shots a little quicker than normal. They're great shooters, guys like Gover and Petrosky and Benoit, who's been the top shooter in the tournament. And Life has really been able to do the job. But here's Petrosky, who got it done in the first half.
Well, he has gotten it done. He's got 7 points, and this is another example, just kind of standing around outside. He's going to look for the open shot, step in. There's some freedom. Good look. And that's been the key, really, I think, for Cumberland. They've had wide open looks at the basket. They just need to get it to fall. They've also played some pretty good defense, but one of the things that's tough to do is stop a man when he's on fire. And let's take a look. Nice job by Carrington to get in. Curtis Carrington, a 6'5 senior out of Trinidad, and he's just going to run the court. And he is the leading scorer for the Runnin' Eagles as he goes coast to coast, kisses it off the glass. And a great job for Carrington, averaging 16 points a game. We mentioned his slowdown the first couple of games, but he's ready to go tonight with 12.
And this has been such an outstanding week for Cumberland out of Williamsburg, Kentucky. Their head coach, Randy Vernon's been there for 18 seasons. what a great career record he has. 17 20-win seasons. In the year that he didn't win 20, it was 19. He's inducted into the Hall of Fame. They make it to the semifinals for the first time. They have to be feeling pretty good just to be here.
I think they are feeling very good, but they also realize that they're a much better shooting team than they've displayed in the first half. And I think that probably we're going to see, as you get a look right there at Coach Carrington, inducted this year into the NAIA Hall of Fame. Sure, he had a couple of nice words of wisdom for his team, and I bet you they come out and shoot a little better in the second half.
Well, sure, he's happy just to be here, but hey, he wants to move on. They are not happy just to be in the semifinals and call it a night after that. They want to make it to the finals on Monday. Little house cleaning duties here that we want to pass along. We will go back to break 9 for our NAIA affiliates along the way and repeat that break, and we'll take this opportunity to do that. Life College on top 32-12. Here from Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Mabee Center. And we're back here at halftime. Life leading 32-12. And here's the halftime stats as you look through them. And of course the shooting percentage we knew about, only 21% for Cumberland in the first half.
Turnovers 13-8, so Life has been committing a few of those turnovers as well. Rebounding, that's no story there, but look at that, 18 steals for Life.
And the halftime stats brought to you by Rollins, the official basketball provider to the NAIA.
Carrington gets things off quickly for 2. He has 14 now. He didn't waste any time.
Ball thrown out of bounds, and Life College will have it once again. Well, more of the same here as the second half begins for Life College as they cause the 14th turnover of the game on Cumberland. 19.5 to play in this one. We have just begun the second half, and Life on top by 22, 34-12. There's Harris with the crossover. Shot clock at 15.
I guess one thing to look at, if there is a positive, 34 points for Life is a very low-scoring first half. The team average is almost 100. So defensively, Cumberland's doing the job.
And there's a foul on Demetrius Palmer as they stood in there and took the charge that time. That's the third personal on Palmer, as he's really yet to get on track here in the second half, or in this ball game, I should say. He's had a pretty good tournament up until this point. And now Demetrius with the 3 personals.
There's the trap at midcourt, and they back off and look for somebody else.
On the baseline, Gover misses the shot. He had a nice open look that time. Carrington on the move the other way. And now from 3-point range, Cumberland is 1 of 13.
Ouch.
And this is a great shooting ball club, folks. We keep saying this. We can't emphasize it enough. Guys like Gover, I mean, this is a guy, 47% on the season from 3-point range. Two-man game there. Demetrius Palmer fires up the 3. Harris for the rebound. And that's Silman that commits the foul for Cumberland.
And that'll be his second personal foul. We'll take a look at the long jumper. Now watch the rebound come down. Picked up right there, and Life. Harris with it, but the foul by Silman over the back.
Carrington from outside, and Curtis Carrington.
Well, he saved his best so far for the semifinals.
Here's Gover on the pull-up. And again, 1 out of 14 now from 3-point range. And the steal by Smiley. Here's Harris to the rack. And preventing his dunk is Petrowski. And cooler heads prevailing there.
Well, that was one of those that we're not going to let you go in and get the slam. If we're going to look at this one, hard foul right now, though. Just right through the hands of Silman. And a great effort by Smiley to keep it alive. And then coming in is Petrowski. He says, nope, not going to slam on me this time.
Second personal on Petrowski. And to the free throw line, James Harris. Well, Harris was picked by many to be a preseason All-American at the beginning of the year. And I don't think he's disappointed too many people. He's performed very well at the national tournament for Roger Kaiser. Harris had his top game earlier this season, 39 points against Athens State. And Harris with both free throws, just as he did toward the end of the game the other day to give his team the victory against Birmingham Southern. Here's Gover, another free look from three, and Brad Gover. And that's the shot that Cumberland College is come to know and love out of Brad Gover from outside. Shot misses, rebound taken out of there by Doug Garth. On the move, here's Silman. He's fouled there by Anthony Maxwell.
Well, good job by Maxwell to get back and follow through. You make the foul, but really you don't want to allow Cumberland to get any momentum right now. So this is a really good foul, a good effort to try to steal the ball, so not a hard foul. But it was a great job of getting back, and now Cumberland with an opportunity to try to get some momentum. They finally got off of that 12 mark, chance to move up even more.
And that last three-point bucket by Gover broke Life's string of 15 straight points dating back to the first half. And Silman with the first free throw, 73% in the tournament, although he's only 52% on the season. And now Randy Vernon trying to get his troops back into it. They trail it by 22, 39-17. We played 2.5 minutes here in the second half, and up high to block that one was Doug Garth, but he got a piece of James Harris. That's the third personal on Doug Garth.
I think you have a little body action going right there is where that personal foul is going to come from. Maxwell will sit down, and I believe that brings Patrick Lewis, you see right there, coming back into the ball game for Life College.
Well, and Garth commits the foul there, but he can stick with you on defense. He's a good defensive player, not a great shooter, but he's worked on his outside shot over his career, number 15 for Cumberland. And right now at the line, this is Harris, again with the free throw, and he's now got 11.
Well, again, Cumberland doing a good job defensively of putting some bodies on folks down in the paint and getting the rebounds. But right now, Life just putting so much pressure on them.
Harris misses the second. There's the pressure again by Life. Knocked out of bounds, and Life College keeps it. They lead it by 23.
Well, Don Smiley with such a heads-up play right there. Couldn't save it, but he just knocked it off of one of the Cumberland players.
Smiley missing the three. Rebounded there by Jason McDaniel. And again, right at the pressure for Petrosky. He handles it nicely. Petrowski with a pass on the baseline. Silman back out high. Brad Gover, another nice look, misses. There's Garth right there going up tough and laying it in.
Well, that was a good job of not kicking it back out. You're that close to the basket, you might as well shoot it. You may get it to fall in a foul and get the old-fashioned three-pointer.
And Garth only 6'2", but he's good at getting to the basket. He got free inside with a rebound and the putback. 40-19, Life on top by 21. And a three-pointer by Patrick Lewis, who just entered the basketball game.
Well, you think you've done a great job of defending, and then they throw one of those in on you.
Garth, good job on the dribble. Picked it up before the Piranhas got to him. And here's Petrowski. On the block, shaping up. McDaniel on the turnaround. That's a nice move there by Jason McDaniel. That's his first bucket tonight.
Now you're going to look at how Cumberland, a team that can score, come down, they work it inside and out.
Cumberland, the good, tough defense. They're characteristic. And this one's laid in by Carrington.
I tell you right now, though, James Harris pulled everybody toward him when he drove the baseline. And Carrington with 19, the recipient of the great dish.
And a foul on Life College. And this one's on Patrick Lewis. That's the third team foul on Life. Into the ballgame, Chad Benoit, the senior out of Hutchinson, Kansas.
Let's take another look at that pass. Right there as he drove in, everybody went to him trying to keep him away from the glass. And he just dished off to Carrington that is having one of those nights, 19 points, and he's still got 16 minutes to play.
And he's 8 out of 11 from the field. Life on top by 24. Underneath 16 to play in the basketball game now. They get it into Silman. And
man.
Smiley stuck a hand in there. Or maybe it's Carrington that gets the call. It is going to be on Curtis Carrington. Fourth team foul on Life, and we've got timeout on the floor. We've played just over 4 minutes here at the national tournament. This is a local break on the NAIA network. Back with more after this.
About shooting three-pointers for Cumberland. They're trying to get back any which way they can, and they go down low to the blocks. And Jason McDaniel just kind of scoots his way back in and gets one to hang on the rim and fall through. But 14 points in the paint for Life. Cumberland just 6. They're going to need more than that as they try to make a comeback.
They kick it around the top to Benoit, who steps in, tries to go up the glass. Rebound taken by Cumberland, and it drops through. Tossing it in there is McDaniel, and J-Mac now has 4.
Great job of hanging around the basket, going straight back up strong.
Life on top by 22 here in the first game of the semifinals here tonight. We'll have the other one for you along these same lines. Harris missing the shot, keeping it alive is Silman, and finding his running mate Benoit, who's on the move. Out high, they get it to Petrowski. Set the offense. Coach Vernon calls him a great passer, one of the best he's ever seen. And there's an example. Dumps it off, and Chad Benoit finally gets his first 3 tonight. Good look at the basket on the wing. Petrowski got it to him.
Great effort, and you know, if you count any kind of emotional victory right now, Cumberland's up 1 in the second half through the first 5 minutes.
Petrowski now 1 of 6 from the field. There's Smiley. Works it inside at 5'9". Rebound taken out of there by Cumberland. That was Michael Silman that got the board.
Tell you what, too, Silman's got to keep that ball up because you put it down low and Smiley will just flat pick your pocket.
Here's Petrowski on the nice spin move.
Oh, man. That's his first bucket of the second half, but really right now, Life looking a little confused on the defensive end as Cumberland's taking it to the hole.
4 out of 5 from the field, 9 points for Petrowski now. And a foul, Silman.
Running through a pick, that'll be 3 on Michael.
And that's the 4th team foul on Cumberland here in the second half. Let's look at that spin move by Petrowski once again.
Just kind of coming down, and Smiley looking to go to the outside, thinking that he may drop out for that 3 that they've taken so often. But instead, he spins into the paint. Fairly easy-looking layup.
Life backs it out. Their lead now cut into 45-28 as Cumberland's on a bit of a run. And out of bounds to the Indians of Cumberland.
Michael Silman giving back the running Eagles a little taste of their own medicine as he slapped the ball off of one of the players' legs.
10th turnover on Life. Here's Petrowski trying to stay away from the double team, and he does that.
Man.
Underneath 14 to play here.
There's the
Life
double, there's
top.
the pickup right there, and he's in trouble. Fortunately for Cumberland, they keep the basketball, but you've got to pass the ball. They dribble up every time, and when they throw the ball up, they're able to make some good possession. But when they dribble that basketball, it's so slow that Life is all over them.
And the scoring run right here, Cumberland 7-0 over the last just over 2 minutes. And they're looking for more here, but Palmer comes out of there with a steal. I think Silman had a piece of his jersey.
And an offensive foul going the other way against Demetrius Palmer, and that will be 4 personal fouls on Demetrius Palmer. But you're exactly right. Silman was untucking his shirt coming up the court.
Silman undressed him. You're not going to see it here. It was earlier. But this foul will be on Palmer for charging. Cumberland with the basketball, 45-28, they trail it. Just over 13 to play in this one.
And Chad Benoit's wanting the basketball.
Silman has it though, off the glass. It was bothered by Harris. And on the move inside, the shot goes for Petrowski, who now has 11. Or actually, that was Benoit that laid it in. Benoit has 5.
Well, he got that 3 to fall, and I think right now he's feeling the juice, so he's wanting it back.
Demetrius Palmer, his first 2 tonight.
Well, every time you think you get something going, Life is so quick and they're so deep that they come right back at you.
12.5 to play. Near steal out front by Palmer. Keeping it alive, though, is McDaniel. And that last bucket by Life broke a 9-0 run by the Indians of Cumberland. Underneath 12.5 to play now. Life on top, 47-30. Smiley to set the offense for the running Eagles. We're in the semifinals of the National Championship Tournament. And a clear out down low. I believe it's on Jason McDaniel.
Exactly. McDaniel says I was being pushed first. But I tell you right now, they're always going to get that second one because it's so obvious. Let's get a look at the ISO down low. It's Harris. There's the one shove. So he says, I'll give it right back to you, but guess what? They caught you, Jason. And that is tough right there. And just baiting the man was James Harris said, I got you, I know I got you.
Well, James Harris is almost 30. And he's played a little bit of basketball down the way, down there in Atlanta. And James baited him right into that foul. That was the first personal on Jason McDaniel. There's Harris, lets fly the three. My goodness.
Harris with 14, and he's on McDaniel right now, and he just gave him the little shimmy with the foot. McDaniel going backwards to defend, and he just drained the tray.
There's Garth handling the pressure. Nice job there by Garth. Shot from outside, missing by Benoit. Right there is McDaniel, though. Jason McDaniel having a nice second half.
Well, Benoit's not slowing down. He hit the one. He's missed 2 in a row since then. But McDaniel, a great job of positioning himself inside. And right now, the rebounding is going to be so key because if any of those missed jump shots, they're going to have to find a way to put them back.
Carrington from outside. Stuck it in the crack this time. Doug Garth with the rebound. Eric Bailey back in there, the 5'10 junior out of Clarksdale, Mississippi. There's Benoit, double teamed over there, and they just took it right away from him. Carrington did. Here comes Smiley on the move. Goes down inside, right with the bucket.
I'll tell you what, you'd better be alert if you're a Life Eagle because they will throw the ball and hit you every time. A great job of passing.
They break the pressure nicely this time. Benoit from outside had a good clean look and missed it. There's Smiley the other way. It's 2 on 5, so he decides better of it. Lewis back in the game now. Carrington lost the handle, got it back at a jump ball situation, and it goes over to Cumberland as the Indians will get it, but we've got timeout on the floor. 10.5 to play in this one. Life College with a 20-point lead. That's the same lead they had at halftime. We'll be back with more from Tulsa right after this. Life College, they're faithful, happy right now. They're on top by 20 with 10.5 to play. This is the semifinal game. The winner moves on to play Monday night against the winner of our second game. Oklahoma Baptist will play in that one against Point Park out of Pittsburgh. Patrick Lewis doesn't care right now. He got the steal and the hoop, and he's got 7.
You are never safe until the ball is in the hole against this team.
Come on, go.
Look at the swipe right there. They're always swinging at the ball.
There's Garth, steps in, finds Benoit, lets it fly. Chad Benoit can't get it down. The rebound, though, by Gleaton, keeping it alive for Cumberland. And Gleaton now has 9 rebounds in the game. And he really hadn't played that much. From outside, shot missing. Carrington the rebound.
There's just nothing falling right now for Cumberland. Benoit is having one of those unbelievable nights.
3 out of 21 from three-point range.
This is a team that shoots almost 39%.
Patrick Lewis, have mercy out there. He's got 10 now.
Oh, it just happens every single time you turn around. Somebody new has stepped up for Life.
Here's another steal by Life. Smiley on the pull-up. He hangs, can't score it. And a foul on Petrosky. And that's the third personal on Tony Petrosky. 57-32, Life by 25. Smiley will go to the free throw line.
Watch this now. There's the little tip. And there it is for the defense. It's got to be a perfect pass. If it's not a perfect pass, it will be stolen by this Life team. And unfortunately, you can't steal. You can't make every single pass perfect.
Tony Petrosky on the bench with the 3 fouls. He was the first freshman to start the opening game for Cumberland in 10 years. So that tells you what they think of him. He's just a sophomore out of Corbin, Kentucky. Right now, his team trailing by 26 after Smiley hit the first of his 2 free throws, and Smiley averaging 11 points and 4 rebounds in the tournament. You saw his numbers for the night, missing this free throw. Life has not shot real well from the free throw line in the tournament. Jeff, only 59%. They're better than that on the season at 71. Tonight, they're 5 out of 8. Here's Mr. Gover from the baseline as Brad Gover fills it up. He's got 6 now.
And you talk about the free throws of life. So far, that hasn't come back to haunt them, but you never know. At some point down the road, if they can get past this game, the finals could be a different story. But right now, Cumberland continuing to battle back. They're doing their share of picking the pockets of life as well.
Yeah, Omari Gleaton is playing with these folks. He's in there with his athletic ability, causing the steal there. Missing the shot on the follow-away is Bailey, gain of the rebound. And there's a steal as they run it down. Gleaton was right with the pack, and also Bailey.
Nice hustle by Bailey, and look at the quickness that he has. He's really giving Patrick Lewis a good run out front.
Bailey getting Benoit open, misses the 3. Gleaton the rebound, his 10th rebound, and that one was blocked by the 6'2 Lewis. Here's Benoit again for 3. Can't get the roll down, and Lewis runs down the rebound.
Benoit is just continuing to shoot, but only has 5 points. He's got a 3 and a little jumper inside the lane.
And Mr. Burger King handling out front. We got to find out why he's wearing that hat.
I'm planning to do that tonight.
That's a bad-looking operation. Here he is on the follow-away. Jeff Wright got the long rebound and scores it.
Well, the biggest deal, too, aside from the quickness, is these life players handle the basketball so well. And if at first you don't succeed, you just keep pushing the ball, and Bailey goes and draws the foul on Smiley. Smiley gives him a tap. But watch the spin. Watch the spin on this.
Maybe we'll get it when we get back. We've got to take a break here. This is a local break on the NAIA network. Life on top, 60-35. Well, Jeff, the Cumberland folks have had a lot to cheer about all week, but right now that tie not flapping around like it has earlier.
No.
They've had the nice run, 3 straight wins to get here. They've run into a buzzsaw with Life College. They trail at 60-35 right now.
It's all about being relentless. The Runnin' Eagles are all over you the entire basketball game. You can never take a breath.
Omari Gleaton misses the shot, Life the rebound.
And there's no way you can prepare for this either, because you can't practice this because nobody's that quick.
On the follow-away, Tyrone Gaynor. He's got 3. 62-35, underneath 7 to play now in this one.
8 players for Life in the scoring column.
Remember, the winner of this ball game plays the winner of our next game between Oklahoma Baptist and Point Park. And that game will be for the national championship on Monday night. We'll have it for you along these same lines. Bailey on the miss, the rebound to Lewis. You know, Patrick has averaged 6 rebounds a game in the tournament from his guard position. And here he is, wanted to get off the 3 and had it stolen by Bailey. Here's Gover on the move. Gover can't knock it home, but cleaned up right there by Kenny Sessions.
Well, a great job that time is just following the play, and the layup a little too hard off the glass because you know the pressure's behind you. So they pushed hard. Sessions able to get it to fall.
Yeah, Kenny Sessions tending the flock right now, as his goal is to become the largest cattle rancher in Texas. And there's the foul on Cumberland.
There's a look at the bench for Life as they are living mighty large right now, and they can be smiling with a 62-37 lead.
Some substitutions in the ball game for Cumberland. McDaniel back in there. Petrowski back in there. Also Benoit re-enters the ball game and to the free throw line. Jeff Wright, the junior out of West Point, Georgia. He's got 6 points tonight. And Wright with the free throw. Wright out of Gordon, J.C. in the Georgia area. And has both free throws here for 8 points. Underneath 6 to play. Life on top, 64-37.
And even with the big lead, still trying to trap the basketball outside.
Petrowski out high, working against the man-to-man defense of Anthony Maxwell. Into the lane, looking for someone to pass it to. Life College after it on the deck. Shot clock now at 12. Petrowski out high. And then just throws it out of bounds. That's what the pressure will do to you. And folks, that is one of the best passers in the NAIA in the country, Mr. Petrowski.
Well, just continuing to put it out. Also averaging 5.5 steals, so he has the quickness to handle this. But Life is just, the problem is it's the 21st turnover. It's not just the one person that gets you. It's the fact that they're double teaming you and they're all over you at all times.
And that's nothing new here in the tournament, the 21 turnovers. They've caused 30 a game on the average, and a foul on Patrick Lewis as he was just shoving Petrowski underneath the hoop.
5:06 to play, 64-37, Life on top. That's the third foul for Patrick Lewis. Let's get a look at the shoving going on. He's kind of working his way down low. And now he just kind of falls out of bounds, and Petrowski just kind of moves away and lets him fall.
And Petrowski to the line has had a nice run at the free throw line during the tournament, 79%, 14 out of 18. That makes it 15 out of 19. Tonight he's 4 out of 6, or 1 out of 2, excuse me, but 4 out of 6 from the field. And Petrowski now with the 2 free throws has 11 points in the game.
And you talk about the fact that Fisher's letting him play and be aggressive. Only 7 fouls now at this point, the 5-minute mark, called on each team.
So both teams in a 1-on-1 situation, underneath 5 to play. This is the first game of the semifinals here tonight, here on the NAIA Network. Along with Jeff Bowen, this is Neil Harwell. Gaynor trying for the loose ball inside. It's bounced back out high to Patrick Lewis. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 1 out, 4 down for Life. How about that quickness? Gets his own rebound, and they'll reshape the offense with 35 new ticks.
Now for a team also that pushes the ball so hard, Life does a pretty good job of controlling the tempo when they want to, a lot of it just because of their ball handling skills.
Anthony Maxwell has 7 now.
His first bucket of the second half, but he hasn't been required to score.
Out high, Benoit dumps it down, Jason McDaniel. Crossed away, Petrowski, now Benoit again. They work it well. Here's Petrowski on the baseline. Nice pass, Benoit, off the glass, he missed it. Keeps it alive, however. And now Petrowski for 3, missing the shot. High for the rebound, Jeff Wright. Stolen right back, though, by Cumberland. Scover after it, and it is Cumberland basketball. But there's timeout on the floor. 3:46 remaining in this one at the national tournament. Life on top, 66-39.
Well, you're leading big, but I tell you what, they're in your head in more ways than one. Look at that. Tyrone Gaynor.
Come on, Tyrone.
Unnecessary. Unnecessary. 66-39, leading big. Gaynor a little more aggressive maybe than some.
That's the kind of stuff takes away from the game, though, as far as I'm concerned. Life on top, 66-39. Shot missing inside, a rebound taken in by Michael Maxwell. Here's Patrick Lewis out high, less than 3.5 to play. Little touch up here for you. From E, our stat man, Cumberland has 5 steals in the game. Life has 14, 4 of them by Smiley, I should say, and 4 of them by Lewis. Cumberland now with the basketball. Petrowski out high. Tyrone Gaynor reaching, can't come away with it, and stolen down low.
Well, I tell you what, Petrowski really thought he had an open lane to Benoit, and where I'm sitting, it was a perfect lane. Then all of a sudden, there was a white jersey in the middle of it.
Well, I think Roger Kaiser called this timeout as Maxwell came away with the steal, the 15th steal of the game for Life. And he was upset about something over there from his team's effort. He wanted to talk things over right now at the 2:46 mark as he is preparing to take his team into the championship game. 66-39, they lead it right now, and he wants to go in on an up note.
Well, that's the whole key. The last thing you want to do is get a bunch of guys out there and have them start slack it off a little bit because, you know, even in 2.5 minutes, you can, in essence, kind of pick up a little bit of a bad habit. But, you know, Cumberland, they haven't given up yet. They're still going to come out there and work hard as you get a look there at Coach Vernon.
A nice week for him, though,
Yes,
huh?
exactly. And, you know, you get inducted into the Hall of Fame and you bring your team to the quarterfinals. It has been a successful year for the Cumberland College Indians, and they're going to be happy with the fact that they've made it this far. They're not going to be happy that they bowed out in the semis, but I tell you what, you work your way this far. Well, it's been a good year.
Successful 18 years here at Cumberland. And you talk to other coaches in the NAIA, and they just go on and on and on about Randy Vernon. And that's one of the criteria. You have to be nominated by some of your fellow coaches, and certainly they had no problem with that. One of the guys, Rick Bird, who used to be in the NAIA with Belmont College, they're now Division I NCAA, really talks highly of Coach Vernon.
What a job that time. Coming through was Wayne Mann off the bench as he went flying for the board and was able to save it.
On the turnaround, shot misses, Cumberland the rebound. And now Bailey coming out of there with it. Well, the Indians had scored 27 here in the second half, make it 30 after that shot. Buried outside by Chad Benoit, his second three-pointer tonight. He was the leading three-point shooter in the tournament coming in here. White with the basketball. Michael Maxwell out high.
Still working, kicking it in and out.
And that's Wayne Mann in the ball game from outside, missing the shot.
Derek Folson going to be charged over the back on the personal foul. And that will send Cumberland to the line to shoot 1 plus the bonus. They're a long way off with 1:43 to go, but the last thing you want to do is stop the clock if you're light. You want to keep it moving as we see Tony Sanders, a 6'3" senior out of Miami, Florida, checking into the ball game.
Well, by my count here in the second half, Life's on top by only 4, 34-30, but the 12 spot they threw up, Cumberland did in the first half.
Well, it was just
really what hurt them and got them behind the 8 ball.
It killed them. And you get a look now at the Cumberland bench. The emotion that comes with getting here, so exciting.
And Merriweather,
be easier.
Merriweather, the freshman, with some nice offensive skills for Cumberland. They'll look forward to having him for another 3 years. Hits the 2 free throws. 66-44, Life on top. Minute and a half to play here in round 1, or I should say in game number 1 of this semifinal night. We'll have Oklahoma Baptist and Point Park coming up right after this game. So stay with us on the NAIA network. Eric Bailey out high, and a near steal out front by Tony Sanders, who's in there out of Miami, the 6'3" senior.
This is an example, too, of what makes life so tough for coaches like Coach Vernon. Is there's some guys on the bench that start when the subs come in, the intensity level does not drop.
Three-pointer from the outside, and I was looking down and missed who shot that one. Cumberland now with another three-pointer in the game. And that one was loaded in there by Merriweather. So Merriweather with 5 points in the game. A freshman coming in and getting his game on off the bench. And Cumberland with an outstanding season, 31-6. After this loss, 31-7. And guys like Brad Gover, senior out of Somerset, Kentucky. Great career he's had here at Cumberland. Randy Vernon, he's now in 3 Hall of Fames. NAIA, Tennessee Wesleyan Hall of Fame, and also the Breckenridge High School Hall of Fame. The other way, laying it in, is Sanders. Count the basket, and he'll go to the line.
Another job of stealing the basketball. Good pressure. Look at that. Just step it up with Michael Maxwell. The quick outlet pass. It goes to right. The great dish to Sanders. And he gets it to fall. And I tell you what now, really, aside from the steals, Neil, I think one of the biggest things that is successful for Life is they make great outlet passes. They know exactly where to throw the basketball after they make the steal.
Harris and Gaynor looking on. They'll see the championship game on Monday night, as they will play the winner of seconds left in this one. Bailey lays it in. Count it, and 1 for Eric Bailey, his first 2 tonight.
Well, it's good to see the team continue to work hard. They know that the game is out of reach at 20 points now with that bucket, but they're playing for a little pride here. And realistically, it's even right now here in the second half. But it was when you only score 12 points in the first half. That's a big hole to climb yourself out of.
Life College moving on. It'll be their 27th straight win after the three-point cleanup there by Eric Bailey. This is a 22nd timeout, and Coach Vernon talking it over with his group right now in the huddle. 23 seconds left.
Well, I think an interesting matchup will be tomorrow night with Life and whoever they play, whether it's Oklahoma Baptist or Point Park. Point Park will present a lot of quickness matchup situations for Life. On the other side, Oklahoma Baptist, some pretty quick guards, but really a very strong, bulky team. They like to muscle yourself around. So the winner of that, our second game tonight, I think will make a great matchup for a championship game tomorrow, or on Monday, excuse me.
Life College has never won the national title. They've been in the final game in 1994. And there's Dr. Sid and Dr. Nell, founders of Life College, and Roger Kaiser already has a national title under his belt with West Georgia in 1974 with Butch Walker in the gang. And he'll be back with another attempt at it. On the shot, that's Fulton. He missed on the follow-away. And on the move, Bailey to the rack, lays it up with 3 seconds left, and a blocking foul is called inside on Fulton. No, that's not Fulton. That's
Wayne
also
Mann.
That's actually Wayne Mann down there that picks it up. That'll be his first personal.
Well, shooting the basketball, Cumberland's been able to make somewhat of stride in the second half, but Life just too much and too quick for the ball game.
Eric Bailey will be back next season. He's a junior for Cumberland. They play in that tough conference in Kentucky, the Mid-South. Always tough when you've got Georgetown right across the way to play. And those two battled it out this season, and Georgetown won the conference tournament. However, Cumberland able to make their way to the national tournament and make a better run in the tournament as they reach the semifinals for the first time in their history. But it's Life College moving on. Roger Kaiser's team will play in the final game on Monday night.
Well, for Life, you've got to give them a lot of credit. They came in here as the #1 seed, 33, now 34-1, and they have handled themselves very nicely.
Life College wins this one 69-52. And a great run this season for Cumberland College out of Williamsburg, Kentucky. And let's go over to Edwin Birch right now with the coach.
Yes, I'm here with Coach Bob Kaiser.
Roger Kaiser.
Roger Kaiser. Sorry about that. This is your second time in the championship, Coach, but first time with Life. Does it feel just as good the second time around?
I think so. I think we played excellent tonight. I think we had a lot of effort, a lot of great shooting, and a tremendous defense. You wouldn't ask for a better defense than that. They're a good basketball team.
Coach, the first 5 minutes, it seems like the team was kind of tight, but after that, you guys put the D on.
That's the way it normally would be. You know, the first 5 minutes, you're feeling each other out. You want to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. But I like the defense. But we took them completely out of their game plan, took them out of their offense. And, of course, we got a lot of points off of it, too.
Well, you had the Indians to the 12 points the first half, and that was a good start. Now, there are some people who want to know, what is it that you are doing in practice to get these guys to put on that defense?
You talk about motivation, about pride, and, of course, and pride, a big heart, and that's what makes you good defense.
Okay, your team is #1. Has it been kind of tough trying to keep your team focused? Everybody's out to try to beat you.
Yeah, and, of course, we worked hard to get #1. Now we're trying to work hard to stay there. And it's a lot of fun, really.
Well, you know, you have to give Cumberland some credit because they also held you to only 64 points in the first half.
That's quite all right.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, back to you, Emil.
Thanks, Edwin, and that's winning coach Roger Kaiser of Life College going back to the title game once again. He's already won the national title with West Georgia, and they will play the winner of Oklahoma Baptist and Point Park, a game that we'll have for you right after this one. And we've got the presentation upcoming for reaching the Final Four for both these two teams. And it'll be Cumberland as they receive some individual awards here. Chad Benoit out there to accept his award.
Well, Benoit really struggled tonight. He had 8 points as a total, but the kid has played had a great season, averaging over 11 points a game, and coming into this, he really had a great tournament, so nothing to hang his head about.
And Tony Petrowski, the sophomore out of Corbin, will be back for Coach Randy Vernon next season. And Coach Vernon sitting down with his players, his arm around them, and you know, you read through the media guide of Cumberland, Kentucky, out of Williamsburg, Kentucky, and all the players just talk highly of Coach Vernon. Talk about, well, he's a great leader, great motivator, but he's also right in there with us.
Right, and I think that he brings back a lot of the traditional style of basketball, play good defense, set up the perimeter offense, and work yourself, and I think that makes a lot of people happy, and he's got a lot of folks that want to go play for him also because they know that he's a winner, and they know they go play at Cumberland College, they're going to win some basketball games.
Folks ending their career tonight for the Indians. Michael Silman, he's a senior out of Talladega, Alabama, had a nice career at Cumberland. Also, we talked earlier about Brad Gover, their leading scorer, one of the top shooters in the country. He's a senior. Chad Benoit is senior. And Randy Vernon, what a great week they've had as they make the semifinals, and he goes into the NAIA Hall of Fame as the Life College folks staying on the floor to pay tribute to this Cumberland College team who finishes 31-7 on the season.
Well, and I think that's exciting, and you talk about the folks that are leaving, but I tell you what, Cumberland's got some good ones coming back. Merriweather is just a freshman. Petrowski is a sophomore, so they're going to be good for a couple of more years to come just with this bunch they've got now.
And Garth also a senior. Got 3 seniors out there taking the trophy right now for making the Final Four here at the National Championship Tournament. Benoit, Garth, and Gover.
The championship game at 7 o'clock on Monday, March 25th.
And we'll take a break on the NAIA network. Remember, Game 2 is upcoming, probably in about 20 minutes or so. OBU and Point Park. It's raining planes in here right now. The confetti being tossed. The plane toss here in the house at the Mabee Center. But Edwin Birch has Coach Randy Vernon from Cumberland College with him right now. Edwin, take it away.
Thanks, Neil. Coach Vernon, it seems like the defensive pressure in the game kind of made it kind of tough for you.
Yeah, their pressure, their quickness is really hard for anybody to handle, and that was the thing that worried us most. And unfortunately for us, we didn't handle it very well. A lot of turnovers in the first half, I think 13, and it really didn't get any better the second half. I thought we would be able to do a little bit better job, and even the times we did advance it past half court, we got some shots, but they just wouldn't go down.
Talking about the defense, Coach, your team didn't do a bad job on defense as well because you held the team down under 80 points.
Well, they're a very high-scoring team. They've averaged 99 on the season, and we thought to control the tempo of the game would be in our best interest, and actually it was. We did a good job from that standpoint, but when you turn it over as many times as we did, and when you just shoot as poorly as we did, 20% the first half and probably under 30 for the game, you're just not going to win many games.
Okay, well, Coach, thanks a lot, and I'll let you get back to your players.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil. Back to you.
Thank you, Edwin, and Coach Randy Vernon in the NAIA Hall of Fame. Another great season for Cumberland. The 18th, or I should say 19th straight season with 20 wins, and there's one of their #1 fans right there. That is the biggest tie I've ever seen.
Could be a record to go to Guinness, that's for sure. But, you know, he's still got a smile on his face, and that's got to be exciting. You know, you're here in the tournament. He still thinks that Cumberland is #1 in his heart, and that's what matters.
And they were 31-7 on the season. That tie was flying around here in the early rounds. They lose it tonight, though, 69-52 to Life. We'll be back with some more comments after this. The winner of Oklahoma Baptist and Point Park, a game that we'll have for you right after this one. And we've got the presentation upcoming for reaching the Final Four for both these two teams. And it'll be Cumberland as they receive some individual awards here. Chad Benoit out there to accept his award.
Well, Benoit really struggled tonight. He had 8 points as a total, but the kid has played had a great season, averaging over 11 points a game, and coming into this, he really had a great tournament, so nothing to hang his head about.
And Tony Petrowski, the sophomore out of Corbin, will be back for Coach Randy Vernon next season. And Coach Vernon sitting down with his players, his arm around them, and you read through the media guide of Cumberland, Kentucky, out of Williamsburg, Kentucky, and all the players just talk highly of Coach Vernon. Talk about, well, he's a great leader, great motivator, but he's also right in there with us.
Right, and I think that he brings back a lot of the traditional style of basketball, play good defense, set up the perimeter offense, and work yourself, and I think that makes a lot of people happy, and he's got a lot of folks that want to go play for him also because they know that he's a winner, and they know they go play at Cumberland College, they're going to win some basketball games.
Folks ending their career tonight for the Indians. Michael Silman, he's a senior out of Talladega, Alabama, and a nice career at Cumberland. Also, we talked earlier about Brad Gover, their leading scorer, one of the top shooters in the country. He's a senior. Chad Benoit is senior. And Randy Vernon, what a great week they've had as they make the semifinals, and he goes into the NAIA Hall of Fame as the Life College folks staying on the floor to pay tribute to this Cumberland College team who finishes 31-7 on the season.
Well, and I think that's exciting, and you talk about the folks that are leaving, but I tell you what, Cumberland's got some good ones coming back. Merriweather is just a freshman. Petrowski is a sophomore, so they're going to be good for a couple of more years to come just with this bunch they've got now.
And Garth also a senior. Got 3 seniors out there taking the trophy right now for making the Final Four here at the National Championship Tournament. Benoit, Garth, and Gover.
The championship game at 7 o'clock on Monday, March 24th.
And we'll take a break on the NAIA Network. Remember, Game 2 is upcoming, probably in about 20 minutes or so. OBU and Point Park.